Have you heard of a blended orgasm? If not, here's what it is, why they are much stronger and more powerful, and some tips on how to have one. A blended orgasm is essentially reaching a peak moment of pleasure because you're having two or more erogenous zones stimulated at the same time. I recommend going out and getting a toy that stimulates multiple erogenous zones. For example, this is the Mood by Moments condoms that sits externally on the clitoris and sits internally on the G-spot. Between 80 and 90% of women or vulva owners need external clitoral stimulation in order to reach orgasm, meaning penetration and stimulation internally alone is not enough for most people. However, a blended orgasm combines multiple erogenous zones. For example, the clitoris and the internal G-spot can actually be from any erogenous zones. For example, the clitoris and the nipples, or the vagina and the anus. So they often feel bigger, more powerful, more satisfying, and more full-bodied, like waves of pleasure throughout your whole body, rather than just being locked in the pelvis or locked in the clitoris. So if this sounds pretty great, it is not as hard as it might sound to achieve this new pleasurable experience. So here are some tips. Tip 1, take your time. Start with lots of gorgeous external stimulation to trigger your desire and arousal. 2, lube, and more lube. Use lube on the toy as well as your own body because that stimulates arousal and blood flow. Once you're starting to get really relaxed and aroused from all of that wonderful external stimulation, start to find a consistent clitoral rhythm and pressure that works for your body. Circling works really well, as does a pulsing like this, or using one of the many settings on a toy. Find a rhythm and a pressure and a consistency that works for your body. 4, when and only when your body feels ready and wanting internal penetration, you can move the toy into the vagina, hug against your G-spot, while this will hug against your external clitoris. This still leaves enough room for additional penetration with fingers or a penis or another toy. Is continue to move and explore and touch in a way that works for your body, maintaining consistent stimulation externally and internally. And 6, make this experience even more full-bodied by breathing, moving, making noise, and exploring touch on the whole body. Remember, your whole body can be an erogenous zone, so you can experience blended orgasms in lots of different ways. Enjoy.